Good evening and welcome back to our Rex Fuels channel, where we discuss issues and trends facing the oil and gas industry. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date with the current trends. We welcome back Pranav Kant, a seasoned expert in the oil and gas industry, with a resume ranging from marketing and communication to strategy and mergers and acquisitions. He has held various leadership roles in Total, BP, and APAR. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Zina. It's a pleasure to be back again.
Pleasure to have you here as always, sir.
Thank you.
My first question to you today is, crude after last week's significant fall seemed to have recovered and ended in the green on a weekly basis. Do you expect this trend to continue?
Yes, indeed, it has recovered on a weekly basis because as we 8.15, and we are talking Brent here, and as compared to the last week ending of 94.8. So it's a bit of a recovery, but we do not see this recovery to have strong legs, primarily because of much better improving supply situation. What we have seen over the previous week is the OPEC Plus coalition has pumped in 42.58 million barrels per day. Now, because this is the highest figure since March, the month after the Russia invaded Ukraine. While Saudi and UAE, they have also increased their production by adding about 280,000 barrels per day. So these two are very large factors, and the Saudi supply situation is particularly noteworthy because their exports in July have risen to their highest level in 26 months. And then when Russia continues on the third month on trot to improve its production and supplies. So in balance, the supply situation is significantly better. Now, when we are talking of OPEC Plus, we also need to note that they are still about 2.8 million barrels lower than their quota. But quota needs to be seen in the context of the target or what could be achieved. And we need to understand there is no OPEC Plus to be reaching closer to the quota, because that would depress the prices and which is not going to be helping them. While the important part to be noted is on a linear basis, the production is improving month on month on month, while the quotas have been growing as well, but and the gap has not reduced, but the production is increasing. So the supply situation is significantly superior than what it was. When we come to the demand side of the market, it still remains rather muted. It's still in growth, but the demand side is not exactly booming. US seems to be turning the corner in terms of increasing the demand signals, but overall with China still showing very poor economic data, and the rest of the world and the Europe not able to make up for all the lag. So demand growth is muted, supply is getting better. So in balance, coming back to your core question as to where do we restrain this past week notwithstanding, so we continue to hold our bearish sentiment, so it could fall back below to 95 and lower.
The market seems to be in quite a roller coaster.
Yes, it is.
My next question to you is, there are divergent views on the future demand of OPEC with IEA. What can one infer from this?
Yes, this is very interesting this time because OPEC and IEA are having different views in terms of the demand going forward. So while its demand outlook, and in sharp contrast to IEA, which has increased in demand forecast. So how do we see this, and where could possibly be balance? Now, we would tend to go rather with OPEC largely driven by muted economic data from China. And China has been the biggest growth driver for the past 2 decades. And when we say biggest growth driver, about 60% demand growth has been because of China. So that's how important it is. And the economic data from China appears less than overwhelming. US seems to be rebounding, but Europe is not at all looking good. So overall, in terms of the balance, we would tend to agree more towards OPEC in terms of the demand being a little bit more muted than what it was initially.
Thank you for your insights into the market. I'm glad you could be here today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you all for watching. Continue to show support to the channel by liking and subscribing. See you soon.